So where I was at is if I click on one of the pane menu bars, panels menu, then I can drag down to panel and I can select any one of these things, and it's going to open up a new type of window inside of that specific panel. So I could say open the graph editor, and if I want to maximize the graph editor, I just hold my mouse over it and tap my space bar, and it dominates the screen. Okay, the next big thing that you'll want to keep track of, especially when we get to animation, is this is this is where we keep track of time in Maya. So anyway, this is your frame. These are your frame numbers. This is your range selector, and these correspond to your range selector here. So if I change, this is the earliest frame that I would want to edit. So I could set this to 12, and it adjusts my frame range from 12 to 24 that way. If I could do the same thing on this end, set that to 24. So now my maximum frame range is between 12 and 24. That's not final. You can adjust this to your heart's content, but if I set this to 10,000, it'll do it. So now I've got 10,000 frames that I'm viewing. Okay, and then you have your playback controls here, and you have your animation playback settings or animation preferences here, this little icon. And this is them. You can also access your preferences window. All that does is open your preferences window to the animation preferences. But if you want to adjust other preferences, you just go to Window, Settings, Preferences, Preferences. Okay, and then finally, we may or may not use this, but we can enter in small commands, textual commands to Maya. It understands two programming languages. One's called Mel, it's Maya embedded language, and then one's called Python. If you are familiar with Python already, then all you have to do is click where it says Mel, and it'll toggle it to Python. And if you want to use Mel, then you can click on Python and change it back to Mel. And then finally, once again, if you're familiar with scripting, then you can click on this little icon below the Animation Preferences button, and it opens up Script Editor. And in here, you can see I've got lots of different scripts I've been working on. You can create actual programs that Maya will run and alter literally anything. Okay. And the last thing that I will show you is the shelf, and the shelf has all these different tabs. This is just a bunch of preset tools that Maya thinks will be pretty handy. I find that people that use the shelf are slower. So I recommend you not to use the shelf. And that ought to do for our basics interview. Next, we'll do a modeling overview on how to model efficiently inside of Maya.